It's the Texas weather discussion video. This is for Thursday, the 18th of July. I'm Donovan Neal. Hot and humid weather will be in store for us for the rest of this week and the weekend, but a slight cool down is in store for us next week with the possibility of showers and storms. So here's the upper air map across the continent. You can see the main upper high basically encompassing much of the central and south central United States. The main mid-latitude westerlies way to the north in Canada, and we're hot down here in the United States. Temperatures early this morning, of course, in the low 80s to upper 70s for most locations, and we'll still be in the upper 80s, but it'll feel just a little tad cooler because humidity values won't be as high. But elsewhere, humidity values will be at an all-time high, the highest they've been this year, with multiple excessive heat warnings in effect for much of the Midwest, much of the nation's Corn Belt, and parts of the Ohio Valley. Excessive heat watches in effect for much of the northeastern United States and some of the parts of the Carolinas and the mid-Atlantic coast, and also parts of the Great Lakes states and near Oklahoma, and parts of the deep south near Mississippi and Tennessee as well. And excessive heat watches in effect for parts of the northeastern United States. But thankfully, down here in Texas, we remain very quiet. On convective outlooks, we have a standard slight risk in effect for parts of Wisconsin, parts of Iowa, and parts of Minnesota, and some of the Great Lakes states. And on day 2, we have a marginal risk over the general area. And on day 3, pretty much the same deal. Marginal risk for places like Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, and some of the adjacent areas. Here's the rainfall for the next 7 days. You can see most of the heaviest rainfall basically near the deep south and parts of the mid-Atlantic coast, and down here close to nothing for much of north central Texas, and the minimal amounts that you see right there is basically anything that we see early next week with the surface front coming through. And with the tropics, with Barry all the way very past Ohio now, the Atlantic Basin remains quiet and will continue to do so for at least the next week. So let's go on to the dailies here. This is the Z run of the GFS followed this afternoon at 4 o'clock local time. You can see we have our main central high basically right on top of us, and down here most of the nation actually stays dry today. Highs will be in the upper 90s for us, and pretty much the same deal on Friday. Now here's Saturday as the weekend begins. Saturday we still remain nice, sunny, dry, highs in the mid to upper 90s, and pretty much the same deal on Sunday. Now here's Monday of next week. The surface front, or the cold front, the rare July cold front actually pulls through. And as a result of that, we'll see some scattered showers and we'll see some isolated showers and storms at least during the afternoon and evening hours. It won't be a widespread event, but it'll still be something. Highs will be, when the cold front comes through, highs will be in the low 90s this time around. And then on Tuesday, that cold front continues to push out of here. Cooler, drier air starts to filter in, and with that, we'll see some highs basically in the low 90s this time around, about 5 degrees below our average high, which will feel very nice. And here's Wednesday, that upper high still look parked over the Midwest. We'll still filter some drier air. They'll still filter some dry air into here. Highs will still be in the low 90s, which will feel very comfortable for this time of the year. But here's a week from today, Thursday the 25th of July. You can see we have troughing to the south, ridging in the west, and down here we stay pretty dry. It'll still feel basically average for this time of the year, not excessively hot. But here's the end of the 10-day forecast period. This is Saturday the 27th. You can see we have highs where they should be here, and down here that looks pretty dry. But you can see for the numbers for the next 15 days, going out to the 1st of August, you can see highs basically the upper 90s for the rest of this week. But once that cold front comes through by Monday and Tuesday, highs basically drop to the low 90s for the next week and next weekend, and then we basically warm up to the mid 90s seasonal averages for this time of the year as we head towards early August. That's it for the Texas weather discussion video for today. I'll have more notes in the blog. Next video here will be posted at around 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. If you can, catch your local TV stations on the air this afternoon at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and Godspeed.